maybe we were a little bit too harsh about soda popping Gremlin Yoda. Yes, I'm talking about that thing of nightmares that lives under your bed. When he was first announced, I gave some concerns that I was worried he was not going to be used until we got Darth Jar Jar. His power seems rather heavily tied to having a Sith Gungan in the leader slot, but it turns out he may have some viability after all. Let's check it out. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your bald boy Scribe. How the devil are we doing? Couple of things for us to go over in today's video. Number one, we're doing a shout out to another content creator. Got to spread that love and show it where it is deserved. Number two, we have some PSAs about leveling up Dark Side Vision Yoda, Gremlin Yoda, Soda Poppin', whoever you want to call him, because there are some things that we need to be concerned about. And number three, we're going to be showing our runs on the Coliseum over here to show how to get a new high score with a new meta team. That's right, meta teams for Coliseum are what makes the world go round and round and round. So, Soda Poppin' Yoda, here we go. He's a good guy. Hopefully the winners of the giveaway that I did, that I was announcing yesterday, you should have received your shards. So if you were in that giveaway and I called your name out, you should have shards in your inbox of Yoda. He will be there and you'll be able to get yourself some good additional rewards, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Let's talk first about the bugbear in the room. The bugbear in the room is error levels, ladies and gentlemen. If you are taking your Dark Side Vision Yoda up beyond anything that you actually need to, which will be like level 5, I implore you, ladies and gentlemen, do not, at this point, do not exceed error level 55. And I'll tell you for why. Because as soon as you hit level 56, you need to be using Xaereth ability modules in order to progress further. There is no source of Xaereth ability modules in this game at all outside of marquee events. And if you want to progress some other characters to further levels, namely I'm looking at Mara Jade Honey Boo Skywalker, she is going to need those Xaereth ability modules herself to progress. If you take a look when we go to at some point, yeah, there we go. At level 76, she's going to need another 30 Xereths. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't confirmed. I have not done the maths to check to see if we'll be able to hit 76 before we get the next marquee in 2 weeks' time. But this is just a precaution. Take Yoda to 55, leave him there. As far as I'm concerned, do not be tempted to spend these Xereths just in case we can get Mara Jade up to 76. She is the powerhouse. She is the driver behind performance in Coliseum right now. Save your resources for her, but take him to 55. Second up, we are going to do a shout out to a fellow content creator, a wonderful individual, and it's because of him that I was able to progress just a little bit further inside of Coliseum, because I wasn't going to level up my Dark Side Vision Yoda at all. The individual that I'm talking about is Sonder, or Sonder Games on YouTube. He's got 1.37 thousand subscribers at this moment with 118 videos. This guy looks like he's been doing quite a few Coliseum videos and he's finding some success with them, getting some good amount of viewership. Thumbnail work is pretty decent. It's working for him. So I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this video, please go over to Sonder's channel, give him a subscribe, boost up his videos a little bit, hit the like button on his videos, comment on his videos, say the Scribe Tribe sent you, because this guy deserves a little bit of love. And I watched this video over here, Dark Side Yoda is punchy, but still a void. I don't think that's strictly true. Yes, he's punchy. He's definitely worth more than taking in a standard unit, in my opinion. It is pushing scores. I got like an extra 20% on top of my previous high score, more or less. So with that in mind, I definitely think he's worth investing in, at least even for Jotaz, who I think is his worst matchup, right? So I used his strat. We're going to use my video that I recorded earlier just to show how it was done. Cool. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, the team composition does matter. This obviously impacts based on how high the error level of your units are. If your Mara Jade is error level 50 or higher, you definitely want to be using Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker in the leadership, because when she's at error level 50, her unique will basically give her Jedi's Will permanently for the entire battle, and that massively increases damage output. Gives you 50% extra offense, 100% counter chance, and some other nonsense that I can't remember off the top of my head. We're also using Barriss, Dark Side Vision Yoda, and Darth Talonius over here. Darth Talon in particular, very, very useful unit. Let's just go over here and show why, because I don't think I click into it in my recordings that I was doing earlier today. But Darth Talon, just here, wonderful girl that she is, her unique Sith cruelty adds significant benefits to Sith allies. So if we have a look here, Sith allies are gaining 24% max health, offense, and 8 speed on top of everything. So she is literally there to boost your dark side Yoda, essentially. Giving him that extra health means he's going to survive. Giving him extra offense, he does do damage on his basic. This is actually a double tap. And Sith allies recover 5% health and protection, so it keeps him in the game a little bit longer. She is vitally important for this team comp, and realistically, when I was running with other things, other units, they were dying before they get a turn anyway. So it definitely feels worthwhile. Now, looking at error levels, we've got 48 on my loaned units, 55 on Darkside Yoda, and 62 on Mara Jade the Honey. Okay, so the order that you do the abilities is very, very important here. Don't try to deviate from this path. I mean, you can if you want. Start off with a basic from Mara Jade. That's going to feed some turn meter to Jedi Knight Luke, provided your error levels are high enough. He's going to do the AoE and everybody should survive. We'll get a counterattack in. That Jedi's Will is in there from default thanks to the error level 50 on, well, 50 plus on Mara Jade pairing with the Luke leadership. Luke is then going to do his Repulse, second special. That's going to put place that vulnerable, on the Jotaz. This basically guarantees critical hits. It's a good debuff. With Darkside Yoda, all you're ever going to do is basic. And take a look at the damage there. We're doing just over 10k damage. That's actually significant. Way more than what you'd usually get from most loaned units. Talon, you just want a basic. Do you see the damage that Talon did? 500. Yoda did 20 times that damage. That's why we're using him. Okay, then we're going to do first special from Mara Jade. That's going to pass Riposte, and it's going to pass offense up to the whole team. You want that offense up for when we use that second special with Mara Jade and do big, big damage. Then we use Barris's heal here to help us survive. If you get lucky, that kick might go on somebody else like Mara Jade and she'll get a counterattack and that might help you. There's a bit of RNG involved in this run for sure. Next up, Darkside Yoda, just basic again. Boom, look at that. 12,000 damage. It's really not bad. Do the second special from Mara Jade. She's got offense up. There's defense down on the Jotaz as well as vulnerable on there, so you're going to guarantee a critical hit. Let's go for it. Big hits, boom, 14k damage there. I mean, that goes to show, really. Darkside Yoda doing 10 to 12k is almost as powerful as her doing an offense up based attack. So it's really powerful. Then we're going to call to assist. I'm calling in Mara Jade here, but I almost feel like I probably should call in Darkside Vision Yoda. We get the AoE, we lose a unit, and then it's just basics and hope that you survive. I would only ever do basics here, because if you do a special, it's going to give you offense up and then it might not do as much damage, etc, etc. But there we go, we got 43% in that run with those error levels, and that was a good 20+% based on what I could do prior to that. Once you break that 40%, I was able to go beyond. I was stuck here at error level 59, and I could not get the materials I needed to go to 60 and above because I couldn't break through 40%. As soon as I changed this comp, I was able to get above, well, I got 40%, and then I was able to spend those error mats, get those additional error levels, and push up to 62. I can't go any further now because I need to progress further to get more materials basically, and I don't have the error leveling currency. But when we get new bosses now coming in, that's going to let me progress and progress. Maybe I'll be able to get to 65 and get this next increase to the unique, which is basically going to give us instant defeat immunity. That's not really going to benefit. Nothing here does an instant defeat in terms of insta-kills. They just do a boatload of damage. But yeah, I think that Darkside Vision Yoda actually has some viability here, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to have some viability. I just wouldn't take him right now beyond 56, just in case we can get a little bit of loving from Mara Jade, get her a little bit further. Because there are 4 bosses on rotation, and each boss at the 40% tier is going to give 100 of these mats, that means there should be 3 other bosses that we can face that will give those 100 mats. I don't know. Yeah, so we're going to be at 350. We're going to be at 350, but we should at least be able to get up to 74, essentially. Should be at least be able to get to 74. Maybe, depends on how it works out when we loop back round through the bosses, whether or not we can proceed. Because when you look at the reward tiers that we get on tier 6, this is what the important part is. The 40%, right, gives you 100 of these. So I've got 3 other bosses to pick up there, so that's 350, right? But if you happen to hit the 90%, you're getting another. So it depends whether or not we can get this far. I don't know if the additional extra loaned units that we're getting through the daily calendar, as well as the slow progression of Mara Jade, will eventually, before that 2-week period is up, let us go to 74 and beyond. So if we look at the daily login rewards over here, we're going to have 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's 2, 4, 6 additional loaned unit error levels, basically. That's going to help their survivability and damage output just a smidgen. If it doesn't even bring them in, what am I, 48, we're in tier 6, it will actually bring them within that range, so that they're not dealing 75% less damage, and they will have higher base stats generally speaking, and hopefully they'll also have additional leadership benefits and stuff like that. Not quite sure what those thresholds are just now, but I've got some faith that before the 2-week period is over, we may well be able to take Mara Jade to 76 and beyond, and that's going to make a significant difference in her performance. Now eventually you will of course be taking Dark Side Vision Yoda up beyond that error level 55. Obviously we will. Right now you just don't really need to. I think there is some benefits that can be had, but unless you're getting, you know, like really significantly more performance out of him, I really wouldn't take him any further. When we get to the end, once Jackson is here, of course, those Xereths are not really going to be as much of an issue, and you will need him, I believe, at error level 90, till he's 90, in order to unlock Darth Jar Jar at the 4-star tier. Let's just double check that over here. Why is this not showing me? It might have been in the newsletter. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, we will find it now. I think it's in the newsletter. Let's have a look. Was it this one? Era of Myths and Legends? No. Here, up. No, it's... yeah, I'm pretty sure... there we go. 4 stars. Error level 90 in order to unlock him, and I believe the next one requires... It might be Star Killer at 100, 110, 105, I'm not sure, in order to get the 5-star unlock. So you will eventually take Yoda further, but you don't need to right now. You can save those resources to try and break additional barriers with Mara Jade, because she's the one that's bringing all the pain, all the damage, and better survivability. I think as well, once we do start getting in some of the additional Sith characters that do exist in this era, talking about Ronin and of course Darth Jar Jar, we will be switching up and going to Darth Jar Jar comps. I'm absolutely certain of that, but that's not going to be for a little while longer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video was useful to you. Make sure you do go over to Sonder's YouTube channel, show him some love. When I check out this video in 2 or 3 days time, I'm really hoping to see that Sonder's subscriber count has jumped up. Give the boy a chance. He deserves it. He's putting out good content, and I think you guys will all benefit from watching him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.